SGC here! And man oh man, first we got the PlayStation 4 stuff, and now we have a full half an hour gameplay of God of War Ascension. Dun 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 dun! So I just want to give credit to where I found it. Game Trailers has it, and it's in the link below. Or I'll put like a YouTube link from IGN or some other site right here. So watch that before you watch what I have to say. So first up, let's just say God of War Ascension. Prequel to everything that's been out. That's pretty crazy. It's not 4, and it's not even like on par with the PSP stuff. It's even farther back. So he's still working for Ares, and then all of a sudden, things happen. There's a link in the description from Kotaku which actually talks about the controls and aspects of like the gameplay, because the journalist played it, and I'll just do a quick rundown of how I felt. So the story talks about some stuff, how there's a monster and he's even stronger than Titans, and all of a sudden there's like there's 3 Furies who is in charge of Oathbreakers pretty much. And this was beyond time. Like when the Earth was created, it was right after when Earth was created, things happened and then Furies were created, and then Zeus was somehow involved, and then this giant stronger than Titan dude, his name is I have no idea. His name is something. Should be somewhere. And I'll post a link for Game Trailers director interview. He talks about the monster and the Furies there. So let's get on with this. So pretty much God of War is centered around these Furies. Like, these 3 Furies have to be defeated for the story to end, sort of. And Kratos is captured by one of them, and the first half an hour, as you can see, he breaks free. And I have to say, the first enemies that he fights are bugs. I don't know. Like, Kratos is crazy and everything, and he has to fight bugs. So I wasn't that savvy on that. So as things happen, you realize that the prison that Kratos is in is actually built from the giant stronger than Titan guy. Like, his limbs and everything are actually archways and crazy stuff, and it's ridiculous. So nothing interesting until these bugs things that Kratos has to fight starts infecting the prisoners there, and these prisoners become like bug human things. And then that's when the fighting starts. As you can see, Kratos still has his Swords of Athena, or whatever swords, but they're not red. So they're not infused with whatever thing that he was infused with. They're white colored instead this time around. And when you just look at the combat here, all the moves are pretty much the same with the chains. But there is a lot more melee. Like, there are a lot of times where he just like punch stuff and kick stuff. And then there was this one move, I don't know if it was actually used in 3 because I don't remember it quite well. Is that there's like pulling move, which reminded me of Devil May Cry, where you pull the enemy closer, but probably it was used already in God of War. So there's a lot of moves that haven't been seen, and it's like really in your face sort of like combat. Because I mean, it really goes back to the whole Spartan thing, which is sword, shield, and spear. And that's not something that Kratos uses since forever. Like, he has his chains, and that's pretty much his like default weapon, right? You got your swords and your gauntlets and stuff, but shield, sword, and spear, not so much. Sure, we got a sword of like Zeus or whatever, but still. So combat wise, not looking forward to it that much because it's just the same. I enjoyed it already, so I have nothing to like, oh come on, give me something crazy. Though they give you the whole picking up enemy weapon thing, and you can actually keep it, which is pretty cool. And you can use it within your combo, so that's pretty nice. So throughout the entire 30 minutes, enemy range-wise, nothing much. You got your bugs, your infected bugs, people, and then you got the boss sort of thing that's like the giant, stronger than Titan's hand that's been like infected by the bugs, and it becomes this crazy thing that has 6 fingers, and it bursts out another thing. And then you have a Cyclops. And that's it for all the enemies that we have seen for this first 30 minutes. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I mean, I sort of miss like assortment of enemy, or at least, I don't know, bugs are not very threatening in Kratos' world probably. But I mean, you have 2 more sisters, they're probably all theme based, and they probably have enemies that are revolving around their theme, or that's what I guess. That 6 finger guy, that was crazy. Like, that enemy design, nuts. Like, the bugs things, it really brought forward, like, a lot more than just bugs. Like, when you infect the hand and it becomes, like, this crazy thing. And then the level design is nuts when you're fighting that thing. Like, it's constant movement. And you can feel the scale of, like, the giant that you're on. Like, other arms come in later on, and you're like, whoa. Like, sure, in 3 you fight Kronos, but I just felt it was really wide. Like, you didn't, I don't know, it was too big of a scale to realize how small you are. Sure, you plucked his fingernail, but it's like, not as intense when you have like arms and arms and arms. And like so much movement, when especially when there was 2 arms holding the prison, and then Kratos is inside and you're fighting, and then you're launched like super far away. And for 3, I don't think I felt that as much. Like, maybe it's just been too long that I played 3, but the sense of scale here feels a lot bigger than 3. But with that said, God of War is known for having super awesome fights in the very beginning of the game, and I must say, this is like the most scaled back of all the beginning fights. I'm sort of okay with that, because I'm always disappointed with the last fight. For some reason, like, it's not as epic as the beginning. So maybe most of the fights are like this scale. I wouldn't mind it, because if you drawn it out and become small little epics throughout the game rather than one huge epic and then it just drains and scutters away sort of thing. Enemy design, the Cyclops seems to look a lot more detailed, and I loved how it was killed, but I just hope that they have like alternate ways of killing a Cyclops, because if every kill is me slicing him right to left down the chest and his like guts and lungs spill out, every Cyclops happens, I don't know, like, at least give me an alteration of like, maybe, oh, the first one I kill, slice to the chest, and the second one I kill, do something else different, and then switch back and forth. I wouldn't mind that, at least a difference. As you read in the Kotaku interviews and a director interview from game trailers, there's a lot of like humanity stuff here, and that's interesting, because Kratos is never seen as human, because he's always angry at gods, and he becomes a god. And to dwell on his humane side, it's interesting, but I wonder where they're gonna go with it. With this review of this 30-minute gameplay, I'm like, I'm fine with it. Like, I don't mind going back into the world of Kratos, because it is interesting. I mean, there's an introduction of these Furies, and the world is getting bigger. But I do wonder how the scope of the entire series, like, are they making it too early now that it doesn't really matter? Or what's happening? Like, is this the scope of the game too big to comprehend? Like, nothing can really happen to Kratos. So pretty much to sum it up, how I felt about this 30-minute thing is that there are a lot of melee stuff which I enjoyed. The level design was pretty good. It made the scale big. The enemy design for the hand bug transformation was pretty awesome. It actually reminded me of Predator. But then the bugs and the infected humans weren't that awesome for me. I mean, Cyclops, it's cool, and you still get to ride it and pummel people. With the gore and everything, this is normal God of War stuff, so I'm glad that they still kept it up and probably pushing the bar even higher all the time. And good job for Santa Monica for doing that. I think the biggest thing for me is I want to know how this ends. Like, how did this tie into everything else? Because, I mean, with it being on a PS3 platform, it's huge. I mean, if they put PS4 and God of War 4 together for the actual sequel, that would be awesome stuff. But with a prequel on the PS3, that has to say something. And I'm hoping that the story is bigger. And it really addresses his humane side, like before he went nuts and super angry about everything. If you want further information, check out the links below and read to your fancy. Anyway, SGC here, Kratos, God of War Ascension, 30-minute opening gameplay. So this is the beginning of the game. So if you don't want to root it for yourself, you shouldn't have watched it, actually. But you did if you're reading the articles below and listening to my words. Anyway, that is all for SGC.